Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA and welcome back to my channel. Unless you've never been here, of course, then welcome. I'm so glad you've stopped by. Because today we are reviewing the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Nude Collection. And I have the full collection right here, everything that launched within this nude collection. And this is a lot of stuff, so we need to go ahead and get started. So if you want to see what this nude collection consists of, what products I got, how the palettes swatch and perform, see the look I create, and get my initial first impressions of the entire collection, then stay exactly where you are, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and keep on watching. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about the things that I got from this collection that aren't necessarily makeup related, because we're not gonna be using those things. I placed most of my order from Beauty Bay because typically Beauty Bay is a lot faster than Jeffree Star Cosmetics website. But actually this time, the Jeffree Star Cosmetics website was faster than Beauty Bay, which blew my mind. But the first thing I got from Beauty Bay was this lipstick display shelf case thing. I thought this was really cute, and I do need somewhere to put all these new lipsticks that came in and a lot of my old lipsticks, so I'm actually really excited about this. This was $30, but it holds 40 lipsticks, so I thought it was a pretty good addition. I did think whenever I ordered it initially that it came with two reversed and stacked on top of each other, but apparently the Beauty Bay edition didn't and the Jeffree Star Cosmetics display did. So that was my own fault. I thought I was ordering that, but I wasn't. Then the other non-makeup related item is this soft touch mirror. And when I saw this mirror, I fell in love with it. I love the way this one looks. He released 3 with this collection. One was the herbal style. Another was, I think, a nude star. And then there's this matte soft touch chocolate star. Oh my gosh, look at this. I love the matte look. I think that looks so cool, and it's so soft and so pretty. I just love this. I don't really know why. I think because it looks like chocolate and I love Kit Kat bars. Maybe that's why. And this mirror was $25. Beauty Bay also had a mirror bundle, which I thought was really cool. I didn't get that though. And this one I am going to be using throughout the video so that I can actually apply my makeup, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys this first because it's cute. Now for the actual makeup products, I'm going to show you guys what I got in the order that I'm going to use it. I start with my eyeshadow before I do my face makeup, so naturally we're going to start with eyeshadow. With this nude collection, Jeffree launched 2 eyeshadow palettes. We have the standard size nude palette and the mini size nude palette. Now Beautylish did have a bundle with both of these for $78. That's what I got, or you could get them individually. The big nude palette is more expensive than his previous palettes because it has more shades in it, and this one was $62. Then the mini nude palette is $28, just like the mini Jawbreaker palette. The mini Controversy palette, I believe that was also $28 as well. Now this is the front of the nude palette. It has slightly raised letters on the front that say nude, along with the nude bodies all throughout from the photo shoot. I do think that that is actually kind of beautiful, in all honesty. I really like the photo itself. I think it was just very fitting of the collection, obviously. What I don't like about this unit carton though is that it's like it captures everything. If you have oil or your hands are wet or anything, it like shows, definitely. Like if I get my finger wet with water and run it across here, it looks like metal. I don't know how that is the way that it is or why it does what it does, but it does. It's kind of cool, but not whenever it stays like that. It does dry kind of solid again, like how over here did, but it just gets weird looking. And I always keep my unit cartons because I like to keep my palettes in them. So that's kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. Then if we open the palette itself, it as well is a matte soft touch just like the mirror, but it doesn't have that weird reflective stuff that changes color when you get it wet, which thank goodness, because I wouldn't be able to stand that with a palette. It also has the word on the front of it with little tiny Jeffree stars that are embossed and raised. Like I can actually feel his booty right here if I touch it, and I can feel his leg right here if I touch it. And then if we open the palette, there went the protective sheet, and it's a very thick protective sheet just like all of his other palettes. And here we have the nude palette itself. Definitely nudes. no doubt about that. Now this is a 30 pan palette full of mattes, all mattes and only matte. Now there are tons and tons of opinions on this palette. My personal opinion about it all being mattes is that I'm actually kind of excited about it. I use palettes in a way that I try to make one palette be as many things as it can be. And this palette is the exact representation of how I like to use a palette. I can use all of these shades for powder highlight, powder contour, powder bronzer, just shaping up the eye, doing a full matte look on the eye. I can literally use this palette for anything skin, and I kind of love that. For a makeup artist, I think that's something very valuable, that you can use one item for many things. I could even mix any of these powders with a mixing medium, make it a liquid, and use it as even cream products. I could mix a deeper shade with a lighter foundation and deepen it, or vice versa with a lighter shade. Just the possibilities are literally limitless. And here is the unit carton for the mini nude palette. Again, it's the same, or at least close to the same photo as on the unit carton for the large nude palette, just this time it's all around it. This is actually like a reflective metallic cardboard material because you can see the reflect that's coming off of it, and I think that's really pretty, honestly. Whenever I was doing photography, I would actually order some prints on this metallic type paper because I prefer the way that it looks, so I like that. It's cute, and the boys on the front are really pretty. Then if we flip it over, the boys on the back are also really pretty, as well as the girl in the pink wig, but you know that's not what floats my boat. Anyway, if we flip it back over and we open it up, let's take the actual palette out. And this is what the mini nude palette looks like. It has the same picture printed on it, but it's just decreased opacity and made one color so that it doesn't take away from the mini nude words on the front that are embossed and raised, just like the big nude palette. Then if we open her up, we have another thick protective sheet, and then the palette itself. If these are anything like the previous Jeffree Star Cosmetics shimmer shades, I love this formula so much. And these are all shimmers and metallics, and the new extreme metallic formula, I think is what he called it. Extreme shimmer, extreme metallic, I don't remember. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in, and we're gonna get started on swatches. Whew, they almost didn't fit, but they just barely did. So as you can see, this is every single swatch from the Jeffree Cosmetics brand new full-size nude palette. And you guys know, as always, I will insert photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And here is our video close-up of every single swatch. Don't mind the glitter, that's from a body highlighter. And that is every shade from the Jeffree Cosmetics Mini Nude Palette. Again, I will insert the photos of the swatches, the one with flash here, and the one without flash here. I went ahead and primed my eyes with my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 01, as always. So now I need to go ahead and jump into a look. Now I know I'm probably gonna do some sort of cut crease because that's just what I always do. So to begin, I'm gonna use the Morphe M456 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Vanilla Latex. Now I didn't tap off any of the excess, so I am getting a little bit of fallout right underneath, but that's literally just because the eyeshadow was so packed onto the brush. See, already, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the perfect shade for under eye brightening, banana toned. Next, I'm gonna use a Luxie. The numbers are almost gone. I think it's a Luxie 207 something angled shader brush. It looks like this. It's an angled shader brush. Normally, this is what I used to use for my nose contour because it fits like perfect right there. But I have another brush for that now. And I'm gonna use this brush in the shade Voyeurism. And I'm gonna stick Voyeurism right here. Tucked in right beside Vanilla Latex. That is already blending beautifully. Yeah, this is definitely Jeffree's normal formula, because always with his formula, you just tap onto another shade with a shade that you're using, and they just blend in together, which is exactly what's happening. And now, using the Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Blowout. And that one's gonna go right here by Voyeurism. This is gonna make a beautiful blush shade. It's like a peachy coral kind of color. Looks really pretty. And now I'm gonna use the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Fluffer. And Fluffer is gonna be the last shade that I use in this topmost section. I'd like to mention that some of these shades, actually a lot of these shades are very, very powdery, even knowing that I'm not tapping the brush off whenever I go in with them, because I like to build up all of that pigment quickly. So I kind of use the fallout, if you will, as my pigmentation, but it is kind of powdery in the pan and there is quite a bit of fallout on my face. So if you're worried about the matte shadow getting on your face, then maybe do your eyes first, or tap off the excess on your brush. Tap the excess that's on your brush off before you go in on your eye, just so you're not getting a bunch of powder everywhere else. Just thought I'd let you know. So now it's time to start deepening things up. And for that, I'm gonna use this really dense Morphe brush. I think it's like a Morphe M506, maybe? I think that might be what it is. And I'm gonna go into the shade, you can see it on screen. And with this shade, I am gonna tap off the excess because I'm gonna start very close to the inner corner crease area. Yes. Do you see how that's working? How it's taking just that inner corner area and making it defined? Now I just gotta work on the blend between it and the other tones that are up there, and then hopefully it will look a little bit better. That shade has now been blended out as much as I want it to be blended out, and as you can see, it has deepened up the lower portion of the upper crease. I don't really know what to call this section, but anyway, now I'm gonna deepen up the outer portion of my lower crease, and I'm gonna use the Morphe M456 brush, and with this I'm gonna use the shade Invitation Only. Okay, I've now gotten the look deepened up, and I really hope this goes somewhere in the end, because right now I don't know where it's at. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and cut my crease. It's probably gonna take me a few minutes, but for you it'll just be a millisecond. So I will be right back. I have now finally gotten my crease cut. That did take a lot longer than I thought it was going to, but I was able to listen to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets audiobook on Audible while I was gone, so I didn't really mind taking forever. Now, let's go in with the mini nude palette. And now I'm gonna go in with the mini nude palette, I think. I had considered adding more matte shades first, but I think I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go in, you know? And with this palette, I'd like to kind of create a shimmery ombre from light to dark, kind of like what I did with the crease, but underneath that instead. So I'm gonna start by taking this Morphe flat brush. It is very flat and very small, so it'll fit right in my inner corner. And I'm gonna first go in with the shade Gagging. And with this shade, I'm just gonna start patting it right on the inner corner. And now I'm gonna use the JS11 big flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Soaking Sun, I think. No, let's do Bathhouse. Bathhouse instead. Moment of truth. Is it too dark? I don't think it's gonna be too dark. That one's a really fine powder. It's not nearly as chunky as Gagging was. It's kind of weird because it's such a thin shade that you can't really see it going on, but you can see the reflect from it. Wow, that's odd. It's kind of coming off as like a chrome. Wow. I would love to use this shade all over my lid, just by itself, with a nice thick black wing as like a daily look. I love this color. It's cool, but not too cool. It's almost warm, but not quite warm. It almost looks like a mauve, but it's definitely just a brown. I don't know what it is, but I love it. Turns out blending Bathhouse into Gagging makes a really pretty color. I like it a lot. Okay, now I want to use the shade Eiffel Tower on the outer edges because it's the deepest shade in the mini nude palette. And I'm going to use the JS10 brush for that because it's a short, frumpy little flat brush. And I'm just going to fill this right out here in the outer lid area. Wow, that is a dark shade. Put her all through here. Fill this little wing shape. I'm not really worried about the mess that I make on the lower portion because I'm gonna use a makeup wipe to make that sharp instead. I know, I'm a cheater, whatever. I prefer to think of it as using your resources. And with little tiny wiggly motions, I'm blending Eiffel Tower into Bathhouse just to make sure they have a smooth transition between the two. Oh wow, that is awesome. That blended like a dream. That's so fun! I love this! I feel like it's not quite in exactly the right spot where I want it to be yet, just because it looks kind of cut off from the rest of the look, but I'll work on the blend. I'll get it there. Oh, this is gorgeous. It's like liquid silver and liquid gold. It is now time to move on. And the next product from this collection that we're gonna be using is the Magic Star Luminous Powder. I got two shades here, the shades Fair and Translucent. And I'm gonna be using these to set my makeup today. So I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, do all of my cream products, and then come back once I'm ready to use the powders. So again, I will see you guys in just a second. It is now time to set my face. I need some dimension to this face, so I need it set quickly so I can move on. So we're gonna use the luminous setting powders. I got, like I said, the shade Fair and Translucent. These were $22 each, just like his standard Magic Star setting powder. I got Fair and Translucent because Translucent is what I always use to set my under eyes, and then I'll set the rest of my face with a tinted powder, and I'm hoping that I can use both of these to set my entire face, and then it's not gonna be so luminous that I won't be able to. Now the physical component that it comes in is this beautiful shade of, I wanna say it's rose gold, but it's a really pretty cool toned rose gold. I really like it. I prefer it more than the standard one. Don't mind how gross this one is. I've had it for a while now. And it looks like once you slide it open to the side that has the sifter in it, it does have some plastic over the top. So I'm gonna remove that, and then I'm gonna go with my powder on the under eye. Oh, I forgot how good this smells. Okay, so I've tapped some powder out into the cap. Well, you can't really, now you can see it. And that's just the translucent. So far, it just looks like my normal Magic Star powder. I don't really see any luminosity yet specifically, but maybe I'll see it more once I wipe off the excess powder, once I'm done baking. Now, while my face sits in the oven and bakes at 350 degrees, I'm going to use the Fair powder now. And again, I put some out into the cap, and I'm just gonna take a fluffy powder brush and just go in and start applying everywhere. So based on the way the formula is performing and how it goes on the skin and makes it look super airbrushed and pretty, I'm gonna say that it is pretty much just like the regular Magic Star powder. So far, I'm not really noticing a difference, but I would bet that once I spray my face with setting spray and the powder melts into the skin, that's where I'm gonna see the real difference. Okay, that's it for the setting powder for now. My face is completely set, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to bronzer, contour, blush, and highlight, get the rest of my face done. Then when I get back, we'll spray it with setting spray and see how the face looks afterward to see what the powder did. So give me just a second and I'll be right back. Now that the face makeup is completely applied, it's time to do the lower lash line. But before we move on with that, let's go ahead and spray this powder and see if it's actually luminous or not. There's so many amazing smells. The cotton candy from the powder, then the starberry from the starberry setting mist. It's wonderful. I smell like a Jolly Rancher, really. My skin is definitely still wet. I'm super shiny right now. Oh yeah, you can see it. Well, let's let that dry a little bit. So I am gonna go ahead and just finish off my lower lash line currently. I'm gonna start by using this Morphe flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Booby Trap. And with this shade, I'm just gonna use it to essentially tight line right along my lower lash line. I'm just gonna press in the pigment. That is a lot more pigmented than I anticipated it being, especially on top of concealer and powder with a flat brush. That's pretty good. And now I'm gonna use the Luxie 213 eye shading brush. And with this one, I'm gonna smoke out the deep brown color with some lighter brown color. I think I'm gonna use the shade Blowout again because it has that orangey tone, and I kinda liked it in the crease area, so I'm gonna use it down below as well. And I'm just gonna keep smoking this out until I get that really soft, diffused look with the dark brown, and it should blend out into a really soft orangey tone right at the bottom. Alas, my face has now dried, and looking at my skin looks really beautiful, actually. It looks slightly luminous. You can even see on the monitor the glow and reflect that my skin has on my forehead in the middle. It looks really nice though. It doesn't look extra textured or gross or anything. And right here also looks really nice and luminous. Even my nose, where there is no highlighter, looks really good. And that's one of the most porous spots on my skin. I think it did pretty well, honestly. And I'm not too worried about it being too luminous. Whenever it comes to the actual lipsticks, for this collection there were 5 new shades, and they are included in this massive lipstick vault. I was so excited to see that he had launched a vault like this because I wanted to get a lot of his lipsticks for my kit in just one big purchase, but I didn't want to pay for them all, so I was excited for this. This has, I think, every nude lipstick that his brand carries, plus the 5 new ones right here on top. Now this bundle was $160. I don't think everybody needs it, but I think it was a perfect addition for my kit. The 5 new shades are Jeffree's Nudes, Berlin, Hidden Hills, and Plastic Surgery. This is really hard to do backwards and reversed. But those terrible swatches are all 5 brand new shades. Now I did also hear somewhere that I think I'm pretty sure was a reliable source that these will be coming out in full size velour liquid lipsticks and be added to the normal line. I'm just not exactly sure when. I think it's supposed to happen whenever the expansion for the Magic Star concealers and the Magic Star powders happens for the regular range, but I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on it, but I am pretty sure they're supposed to be part of the regular line eventually. Now for liner, I think I'm gonna use the shade Jeffree's Nudes. It looks a lot like the shade Scorpio, and I really love the shade Scorpio, except Scorpio is probably a little deeper, but it is really pretty. And for the wing, I'm gonna use the Morphe X Jeffree Star JS14 liner brush. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of the shade Drug Lord in with this shade just to lighten it up a bit, and I'll put that on the inner corner as well. I now get to use the lipstick on my actual lips. I'm gonna start by using the Gerard Cosmetics Velour lip liner in the shade Scorpio, and I don't know which of these lipsticks I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna combine Hidden Hills and Jeffree's Nudes in sort of an ombre type of lip. Don't know how this is gonna work out really, but I'm gonna do it. Lipstick is now applied. And for the next step, we're gonna be checking out the brand new glosses. This collection came with 6 glosses. Each of them are $18 each, or you can get the entire set from Beautylicious website for $108. And now I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in and show you the swatches of all 6 glosses. First is the shade Pretzel Drip. Next is the shade Beaded Glass. Then we have the shade Mouthful. Then we have the shade Body Count. The shade Tabletop. And there's all 6 shades from the collection, and here's what they look like with the glitter reflex. So I'm gonna use the shade beaded glass right on top of this lipstick. Oh, these taste so good. And they smell amazing. I just love Jeffree's gloss formula. It feels so comfortable and it's not too thick, not too thin. And with that gloss, that is everything from the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Nude Collection. I just love that gloss. That was like the perfect finishing touch for the lip. It feels good, it tastes good, it looks perfect. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera and finish off really just my lashes. That's kind of the last thing I have to do. And after that, I will be right back with my final thoughts on the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Nude Collection. See you guys in just a second. Mascara and lashes are now applied and we are completely to the finished look. And now on my face is everything from the Jeffree Star Cosmetics brand new Nude Collection. What do you guys think? I feel like I got a lot of good pigment out of the shadows that I used. They blended really well together. The palettes worked together beautifully as I would expect them to. But all in all, would I recommend this collection? I think that this is going to be a very specific collection. I think it's going to depend on you and who you are, as most collections do. Quality-wise, I would recommend this collection if you're over the age of 18. If you're not over 18, I just can't recommend it because it violates everything I stand for and believe. I'm here to make a safe space for everyone, including under 18. I do think the collection though is really neat. I love the whole idea of the collection, especially for having it in a makeup kit. I think this right here, this is phenomenal. I love this and I love the idea of this. Having a full nude palette of almost every color of nude that you can think of is a great idea, in my opinion. I think it's an essential. And if you are an everyday consumer, you wear makeup every day, if you wear a nude look every day, this is gonna be a good palette for you. You're gonna get a lot of use out of it. You can even play with different lightnesses and darknesses in your look. So I think this is gonna be great for any kind of office worker who loves to wear makeup, any kind of teacher, any kind of student, really any position that you could work or be in that requires you to have more of a neutral look where you can't wear bright colors and bold looks. I feel like this is going to be very appropriate for you, and I feel like you're going to be able to get a lot of use out of it. And I feel like the value is there because you're going to be able to use it for forever. So it's something that you're only going to have to buy. So it's something that you're only really going to have to buy once, unless you just use one shade all the time. And then obviously, if you're a makeup artist, like a working makeup artist, soon to be, because we have to wear masks all the time and can't because we have to wear masks all the time, I think this will be a great fit for a kit and would definitely be worth the splurge to buy and have available. Because what if you don't have somebody's foundation shade one time? Whip out your powder palette and mix up your own foundation shade. Leaf, are you okay? Did you cough? Was that a sneeze? Bless you. Oh, then the mini nude palette. I don't think this is necessarily essential. I probably could have made a beautiful look without this. I could have just used all the mattes and all my single shadows. But if you don't have a bunch of single shadows or super shock shadows or glitters or anything that you can use as toppers, then yeah, this palette's a great addition. And I think you'd benefit from having a palette that's full of shimmers. For me personally, these two palettes make one. I was not gonna get this without this. I wasn't gonna get this without this. This is just one palette for me. When I carry this, I'm gonna be carrying this. Next, the illuminating face powders. Oh my gosh, where have these been all my life? Period. Definite worth it, definite recommend. If you have super oily skin, I don't know how well it would work for you without emphasizing that oiliness, so I would be careful. I would bet that you could probably use it on parts of your skin, just maybe not all over your skin if you're super oily. Now with the glosses, I don't think you need all 6 glosses, but I do love the formula of his glosses, and I would say they're definitely worth the buy. If you find one that you do like, or you saw the swatch of one of the ones that I swatched that you just really enjoyed, I think it would be worth the buy, then picking the ones that you would like out of it. Same concept for the lipsticks. This lipstick vault, I do not think that this whole thing is necessary for you to buy. If you already have a bunch of nude lipsticks that you love, don't buy this. Just wait for the 5 shades to come out and buy the shades that you want from the 5 shades. However, if you do have a makeup kit that you want to add some lipsticks to, or you just want to increase your own nude lipstick collection, then by all means, spend the money on it. And the soft touch mirror and the lipstick display case, that's going to be literal preference. I mean, if you want something like that, go for it. The soft touch mirror is really nice, and I love the star mirrors. I am a fan of these mirrors. They are just nice mirrors. And with that being said, that is officially the end of this review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, because it does let me know that you like my content, but it also lets others know that you like my content. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. And if you gain nothing out of this video, if you gain nothing out of any of my videos, please at least gain this, and that is to always remember and to never forget that you are absolutely beautiful. And I love you guys. Bye.